Hi, Joe here over at Willie Cottage. Wednesday, really cold and windy. We're waiting for the gales to kick in and hit us really quite badly tomorrow, so I thought I would get a breed study done. Now, at the weekend of my live chat, it was voted that I would do the Manx Loaghtan. Now, it's a very ancient sheep, is the Manx Loaghtan. This fleece was actually gifted to me by one of my friends, who's also a client as well. And it's been sat here waiting for the day that I want to use it. Now, personally, I love Manx. I love spinning it. I love working with it. And whenever you have a bat from me that's got natural browns in it, it's always going to be a Manx Loaghtan or the Shetland Moray. I just love that colourway. And it's got, on this one, it's got these gorgeous little bleach blonde tips. Now, this one's not the longest example of the fibres as a staple length. They are quite short on this cut, but there are some sections that are quite long. So anywhere between 7 to 10 centimetres long in staple length. It has got a very, very soft handle on it, even though it's got quite a high micron count, which is roughly, they say it varies depending on who you're looking for your research with, but it can vary anywhere between 30 micron count to about 33 on average. Sorry, I've got a bit of fluff that's gone down the back of my throat. Right, anyway, so I'll just take a drink. So I've already sat and about 60 grams of this really bouncy wool. Lovely. I really love it. And on my skin, it is actually quite soft. The best way, and it was somebody mentioned this the other week there on one of the Facebook groups, so I don't know why, I've never thought of it before, it makes perfect sense, is to get, if you want to find out whether a wool's going to be okay to wear as a garment near your skin, or if you would need like a layer of a jersey sweater underneath, or a lining top or something, or a shirt, is to put it next to your skin and leave it there for about 20 minutes. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this piece of wool against my skin, and with having fibromyalgia, for me, I'm quite touch sensitive with whatever sits against my skin. I generally wear just cotton clothes, linens and wools. I have really big problems with polyester. Polyester really itches my skin. So there we go. So I have got a lump of wool under my skin. I'm going to leave that there while I do this video, and I'll give you my thoughts on it afterwards. So usually I buy it as a roving, the Manx Loaghtan, and it has got like a slightly reddish brown tinge to it. I would call it more of a milk chocolate sort of colour, and you'll get these, where the blonde tips have come off the sheep, you'll get these little streakings of colour tone throughout the roving. So I love it. I really love it. It's one of my favouriteest coloured wools, and it only comes in these browns. Now, the babies, apparently, from the Manx Loaghtan sheep, they are born black, and then I think it takes until about 9 to 18 months for them to mature their fleece colour to end up the same colour as their parents. So they go through like a black phase, into a chocolate brown phase, then into this more rich reddish colour, and then they do take a long time to mature in comparison to other sheep, which are these days are hybrid sheep. They're all crossbred. Most of them are crossbred with other breeds to enhance their breed through time immemorial, more and more especially from the Victorian era, when they wanted certain sheep to have more meat than they wanted the actual fleece itself. But the Manx Loaghtan is actually a sheep that's been bred on the Isle of Man, which, I'm going that way's the sea, is literally just a boat ride away from where we live on the 3 miles out of Whitehaven on the coastline of Cumbria. And they've been bred there for at least 1,000 years. Now, they do reckon that the ancestors of the Manx Loaghtan go all the way back to the Ice Age. So that you never know. They are distant relatives of the Shetland, the Moray, the what's the other one? Oh, I'm just going to refer to my notes, because my notes are always on the floor. If I got my notes, then I'll remember it, because me and my fibro fog, Right, so yeah, they are descendants of the Boray, the Shetland, the Hebridean, the Soy and the North Ronaldsay sheep. And up until recent times, you would find the Manx sheep anywhere up in the north of Scotland. You'd find them in the northern European areas. So everywhere going from Iceland through to the Shetland Isles, the Orkney Isles, north of Scotland maybe, all the way through to Scandinavia. So it was just this top band. Now these sheep are really, really quite hardy. They don't mind wet weather. They don't mind really windy weather. And considering the softness of that wool, it's really quite surprising how hardy they are, but they have the most loveliest wool. Now they were put on the at-risk register back in the 1950s, and there was only about 43 Manx Loaghtan sheep left in the world as far as they were concerned, and they were put on the at-risk register, and they did manage to get the breed population rising again. Now I found a report via DEFRA, and they said they did a research study on DNA profiling through this breed and the Boray sheep, and I think it was the North Ronaldsay, because of the ancient breed heritage lines of these sheep, and they've been so endangered. And they did do a linear DNA line, and they did try and surmise that it was due to the close connections of the DNA was the resulting effect of the dying population. But they've managed to sort it out. I think on the Isle of Man and in areas of the UK, the last time, from the information I've gleaned, I'm not quite sure when it was written, maybe a couple of years ago, there was only about 1,500 to 2,000 Manx Loaghtan breeding sheep in the UK. Majority of them are on the Isle of Man, which is now commercial sheep. Now they were put on the at-risk register, but they were also picked up by the, hold on a second, it is the Rare Breed Survival Trust, graded them at risk. But then the Manx National Heritage developed 2 healthy breeding flocks, and from there they managed to revive these this breed of sheep, and they sent them 40 ewes and I think it was 2 rams to Jersey to go and help stabilise the northern coastline on the Isle of Jersey. And that was in 2009, and they thrived on the land, and there's about 400 sheep on that island now. So going from 42, so you're going from 42 sheep with the breeding, healthy breeding sheep, up to 400. That's 10 times the amount was just in 12 years. So there's definitely something good being done there, and the breed is starting to become a bit more well known. Now they are quite unusual. They can have anywhere between 2 to 6 horns. The females they use will have slightly smaller horns in comparison to the rams, and the rams are a lot tougher as well as larger. They are quite a long-legged, short-tailed northern hemisphere sheep breed, but as I say, they're very hardy. Now their fleeces are quite oily, so if you do get, I mean, this fleece I was lucky, it was very, very clean. I have washed it. It came, and when it's come out, it looks like this, all straggly and lovely and soft. So I ran that through my heckle a couple of times, and then I ran it through my carder I think 3 times to get it to this consistency. Now there's still a few little lumps and bumps in there, but I don't mind, because at the end of the day this is my test sample, and when I put them on the shop, I'll put them in as 100 gram packs of washed fleece for you to card yourself and prepare it yourself at home, or 50 grams carded when they go on the website later on this afternoon. So I do have a full fleece of it, but I will be saving some of it for myself. Can't let you have it all, so I need to still get the rest of that finished off and washed downstairs. But as a carded block, it's really, really nice, very bouncy. It's got definitely a lot of bloom in there, lovely wool. So I'm going to sit and spin that in a minute. So the meat as well is a delicacy now, and that has also been picked up by the European, let me see, it's naturally low in fat and low in cholesterol because they're grazing animals. They don't really get supplemented a lot of feed. They'll be up in the mountains, so they go and bugger off for weeks on end and then get pulled in whenever they need to get like their vaccinations and things like that. So what have we got? So there is a European, I'll find it in a second. They were definitely put on the European, I can't find it. Where's that piece of thing? Right, so the meat, I wrote it down and it's driving me potty because it is on here somewhere. National heritage, commercially bred. Yep, can't find it. The National Trust brought 20 breeding ewes, and all right, so it wasn't 40, it was 20 breeding ewes and 2 rams, and put them on the Isle of Jersey to be re-established. That's weird, I can't find that. There we go. Being recognised and protected designation origin breeding scheme for Europe. I knew it was in there somewhere. So what that means is that the meat from the Manx Loaghtan has to be registered, and then it can be butchered and sold on as a specifically named breed of sheep when the meat's sold. So a bit like, you know, what Cornish pasties down in Cornwall have all got this European standard trading thing where they've got to be called Cornish pasties, they've got to be grown in Cornwall. And the Yorkshire, the rhubarb as well. There's a link with the rhubarb that it can only be sold if it's sold grown in Yorkshire. So that sort of thing. Stilton cheese, I think, is another one as well. It's got to be only made in the same area it's located, where it's traditionally always made. So yeah, so the Manx Loaghtan sheep is a very delicate tasting meat. Has no high fats or cholesterol in there, and it's actually really healthy for us to eat that anyway, in comparison to normal lamb meats where it's really quite a juicy, greasy. I love it. I haven't had lamb for ages. So they've got brilliant mothering skills. Now they do have twins, but it's usually at about a 1.1 to 1.5 rate, birth rate. So there was also something else that I found, which is quite unusual. There was some people out on a couple of the islands where the Manx Loaghtan graze, and they noticed that the bird, the chough, Chough, was feeding, and the population was really doing well around the areas that have been grazed by this breed of sheep. So somebody started a study about it, and they discovered that the chough, wherever the Manx Loaghtan were grazing, the chough population would be increased. When those sheep breeds were moved from those locations for grazing and moved on to different pastures, that area that they've just vacated, the chough population would reduce. And then when the sheep were brought back to another area to graze, that chough population would start to increase there. And they noticed this on, trying to say, where is it? On the Ramsay Island and Bardsley Island and the Isle of Man. And also they've noticed it on the Isle of Jersey as well. But what it is the way that the sheep graze, they're tufting up and grazing up at the grass, so it's actually excavating the soil so the birds can feed from the soil and get all the bits and pieces and the beasties that they're looking for. Not only that, the dung that comes from the sheep as well, they're bringing in the beetle population and fly larvae. So when the ground's really hard and the birds are looking for food, say like in the drier summer months when it really is caked in and there's only so much that the sheep can do on their own after chewing the grass up, the dung's actually helping feeding that population of birds. So they're actually seeing a dual purpose biodiversity that's actually encouraging other wildlife into the area. So that's roughly about it. I mean, the average birth rate weight for a baby Manx Loaghtan is about 3 kilos. and apparently the wool is excellent to spin with. Average fleece weight roughly about, I think it said 1.5 kilos to 2 kilos at the push. They're not the biggest sheep in the world. The females are roughly, I think, about 3.5 to 4 kilos in weight, and the males range about 4.5 to 5.5 kilos in weight. So yeah, take that as you will. At the end of the day, as long as you get a lovely fleece, that's all I'm bothered about. So I'm just going to sit here and do a bit of spinning, and then I've got some news at the end of this. So I'm just spinning off this small bit, and then I'll give it a quick ply. But I do feel, because I've left the lumpy bits in it, it's given it a natural tweedy look. So I am spinning in my usual long draw anyway, but I'm giving it a little bit more twist because of the way that the fleece has been shorn from the sheep. It's small sections. I feel shorter when I'm spinning it, so I'm just making sure there's a bit more twist in there than what I would normally do to compensate for those shorter areas. But then there's lots of longer bits in there that are about 7 to 10 centimeters in length that are easily just doing their own thing, but it's really nice. There is the feel of lanolin still in there, though it has been washed properly and scoured. So once you ply it up and rinse it, wash it through again to set, then there shouldn't be any problem with it, but it does have a lovely feel. And then at the end of the day, once you knit up with with wools like these, and they've been worn all the time, then that lanolin actually starts to soften out, and then the more that you do hand wash your jumpers, the more that will actually reduce, and the wool will get softer and softer in time anyway. If anyone wears actual wool products that haven't been bought from the shop and they've actually been genuinely handmade with 100% wool, knows that the more you wear a jumper, the softer it gets over time with wear. And it loosens up as well, becomes quite baggy and a trusted jumper that you just want to slouch around in. Last year for years, hand knitted jumpers with 100% wool in. So yeah, it's nice. It's quite a nice little bit of wool to spin up with. So I'm just gonna get this as far as this handful. I think it's probably only about 10 grams or something in my hand on this here. So it's enough because I want to take a couple of pictures, and then I'll put this sample in my sample book anyway. So yeah, I sent out a newsletter to my Woolly Cottage website subscribers. Now you can go on my website, my link is in my descriptions or it highlighted below this video, and you can go and join my newsletters. And in the newsletters, well, as soon as you become a VIP subscriber anyway to the website, you do get given a 10% discount code that you can use anytime whenever you make a purchase, and it'll give you 10% off your total at the cart. And it can be used if I've got anything that's already discounted. At the moment I've got actually a small sale on stock that I want to take off the website by the end of the year, and start introducing some new blends as well and some new stock. And I've just sent, as I say, I sent out an email yesterday, and this is open for everybody. So if you got the email, let your friends know. But any purchases that are made from the website, any orders from now until New Year's Eve, you will receive at random either a £5 or a £10 discount code to use in your purchases, or in your purchase between the 1st of January of next year and the 31st of March next year. So you can use this code through any time in that month, but it's one use per customer. You can't go onto the website and sneakily go in there in January and go and use it once and then go back in February and use it again. No, you can't do that. You can do with the VIP 10% discount code. You can use that whenever you want to. That's just your loyalty reward. But this is a thank you. This is a thank you to all the support to people that have ordered from me over the last year for the 2021. It's been a tough year for quite a few of us. I've had busy moments and I've slow moments, and I'm like, oh my god, nobody likes me moments. But we all get those, and we're all struggling at the moment. I'm not doing a Black Friday deals. I don't believe in them. That's all right for these big corporations that buy handmade products from people and buy them as cost from those people and then put profit margins on top. They can afford to do that. I can't. I'm too small. I am literally a micro business. I am doing this because I want to be independent and bring myself in a small income just to pay off my credit. You're helping me pay off my credit cards. You're helping me pay my electric bill or buy a big bag of wood to heat up my fire, which helps me with my fibromyalgia. You're helping me keep on creating and be more imaginative and learn new ways and skills to be able to carry on doing what I'm doing for a long time. I mean, I'm only in my 40s, so I'm going to be around for a long time anyway. So that's what you do when you help support smaller businesses by ordering from them. I think if I was to discount all my items all the time, it would get to a point that nobody would buy from me at their full cost. So that's why I do the 10% deal, the 10% VIP code, because it's for loyalty from yourselves for coming back to me. But this is just a thank you. So it'll be random. You'll not know what you've got until you get to the check, until you get your card through the post. Don't worry if you lose it. I will be taking a note of who's been given what money discount voucher in their order. I will be taking a note of that. So if you lose it and you know you got one and you did buy something between now and New Year's Eve, just give me a shout and I will tell you which code it is that you have to use at checkout. It isn't a big problem. So I'm just going to wrap off this little piece and then apply it, and we'll have a look, see what it looks like. Oh, I better wrap that bit around my middle finger, otherwise I'll never find the middle. So yeah, so that's my news for now. There is some new stock in the shop as well. I've put in some locks this week, some new bats in there as well. What else? Oh, I've made some Japanese style crafter's pennies with the slanted pockets for ease of use when you sat your spinning wheel, so the pockets will sit just like that instead of going straight down like you would normally do. It can be a bit funny on your hands, but when you sat spinning and you need your wheels and things like that in your pocket, so you've just gone outside to go and get your wheel off the washing line because it's all dried and you just want a couple of handfuls, you stick them in your pockets. So I've made a couple of those. One's got to get photographed this afternoon and put on the website, but there's one in there at the moment. And I have got some crafters wrap bags that I've put onto the website. I've posted them yesterday on my Instagram page. Now, posting for Christmas, UK postage. If you want your orders before Christmas, then I will be not sending out any orders from, I think it's the 17th of December this year for Royal Mail, but I'll be going for the 15th of December as my last before Christmas postage date, because that'll be the same time as I send out my Batty Clubs. So I want to take a couple of days off for myself, but that's not to say that I won't post any orders out that come in, just not be on a regular basis. It might go down to once a week, or depends on when I can get into town. What else have we done this one? So Batty Clubs are up on the website now, and I'm doing Rambouillet. Now with that, it's £21.50. It's open to the UK only. The postage is included in that £21.50, and for that you get 150 grams of wool. This month's breed is Rambouillet, and in that batch you'll have at least 85% will be the breed of the month. And with that you will get stitch markers from Heather at Flame Knits, which I announced on my Instagram this morning, and you get sweets and you get your tea, and with it being Christmas I always add in a little bit extra something in your parcel anyway. Now the voucher code for January through to March is open not just for UK but for everybody. If you're in the US and you order from me quite often, then expect to receive at least one of those in your order, and then you can use that as well. Just put the code in, it will still take off the amount that it's valid for from your order. So yeah, Batty Clubs, I'm taking the orders for them up until the 10th of December, and then they're getting posted out the week before. And I think that's roughly about it. I think that's all the news I've got for now. So I'm going to quickly spin this off. Let's see how it comes out. I've got my Batty Clubs to get on with yet. Do you know, I feel like I've lost an entire week somewhere along the lines. One minute it was only the 15th of November, and then I realised, I looked at the calendar yesterday, I'm like, oh my giddy aunt, it's the 23rd of November. Well, where's this month gone? I've lost a week somewhere. So, right. Get this plied up. Orifice hook, I really need to sort out all the leaders on all the leader threads on my spinning wheels all desperately need replaced. Has it gone through? Why is it, what's it playing up? It's playing up. There we go, it's out. There's definitely something going on with this. It doesn't want to play. There we go. Do you know, sometimes your wheel just likes to be mischievous and make you wonder what it is you've done wrong. I'll talk about mischievous. Here she comes, the dog. This is supposed to be a breed study, not an intervention dog. Stop it. Get down. Get down. I do apologise. My breed studies are supposed to be professional. Well, as about as professional as I ever get. Yes, I reckon she's actually busting for the toilet, so she'll just have to wait 2 minutes while I just wind this up. Yes, I know, you are a good girl. I do apologise. She is a menace. She doesn't normally star in my my breed studies. We've got to feed the birds, you see. We've got to go out and feed the ducks and the chickens, so it's like our little internal alarm's giving it. You've not done that yet, Mother. Come on, you need to hurry up, stop playing. So, if you've got any suggestions for any videos you'd like me to do over the next couple of weeks, I am doing Vlogmas on YouTube. So that'll be a little daily shorts on there, opening up my advents for this Christmas, and a couple of the little things that I've got planned for over the Christmas tide season. So I've got some spooky stories that I'm going to do whilst that's spinning. I have sorted out my YouTube live, but that limits me to the length of time that I can go on there. So I will do that at some point over the next week, pop on and do a live and see how it goes. So I'm just, you know, it's got me all a tangle. Come on, naughty. There's just no need for it, is there? Like, why is that tangled up there? Oh, crikey. There we go, found it. It's not making my life any easier, right? Oh, diddling this lot up. Do you know, it's fine when a plan comes together, but it makes you feel like you've completely fluffed up, literally. Do you know, nothing's gone to plan today. Nothing is going to plan today. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish off this little piece, because this flipping ball of wool has decided it wants to knot up on me and catch on itself and fluff in the wrong blinking places. So I'm just going to snap it there. It can go and have a play with the cat somewhere. And then wind that off. I do have a little niddy noddy around here somewhere. Yeah, typical Joe. So I will leave it there, and I will catch you next week. I'm filming Batty Club's video blendings this afternoon, and they will be on my YouTube channel sometime over the next few days, depending on how long it takes me to upload this one, because I'm having issues with my uploading at the moment. It's taking forever, so I have to go and stand outside in the rain so my phone will actually upload quicker. So you take care of yourselves. I will see you on Saturday for the live chat. I will try my best to get onto YouTube. If not, you'll find me over on Instagram about noon on Saturday coming. You take care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.